Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Actually, it's almost noon. Welcome back to the Flop and Crappie channel. I'm Davis. Today, something I haven't done in a while. I don't know if I have video of this, but I missed the step from my casting deck to my regular deck, the step down, and I kind of I jammed my hip or something. So I had to go to Walmart and it picked up some ibuprofen and a heating pad. And as I was there, of course, I'm at Walmart, you're gonna walk through the fishing section. So strolling through there, looking at the baits, and I look down at the bottom shelf and there's this kit. Yes, the crappie fishing kit. So today's challenge is going to be, can I catch a crappie with a Walmart crappie fishing kit? Well, we're on the lake and here is the crappie kit from Walmart. Let's open it up and see what we can use. Lots of goodies in here. Marbu jig, 2 of them. Oh, we got a chartreuse one. I'm thinking we're gonna go chartreuse marbu jig to start it off with. I'm gonna go to the double jig setup. A lot of you have been commenting on that video. I don't know, that video is apparently getting a lot of traction. So we're gonna go double jig setup. I'm gonna go with the marbu jig to start off. And then we got some regular tubes here. Got some curly tail tubes, but I already actually have this rigged up. They have these, I think these are 1/64 ounce weights, little jig heads here, and they're not the greatest because it's a Walmart box, but they don't really have that hook to really keep that tube on, and then the tubes are actually hollow bodied tubes, which they're cheap, but I recommend super gluing them on. I don't have super glue, so I'm just going to hook them on and hope they stay. So there we go. That's going to be jig number 2. This is going to be my top jig, and this guy is going to be my bottom jig. This feels like a 1/16 ounce marbu jig. What else we got in here? We got a beetle spin. I don't know if I'm going to be using this much. Try that. Just got some split shots, some regular Aberdeen hooks. Got the old red and white bobber. There you go. What is this thing? What in the world is this? It's got to be like a tying tool kit, right? Also, I don't know what this is. These looks like some giant hooks for crappie fishing. I don't know. Those are, I'll show you. Here's the 1/16 ounce marbu jig compared to those hooks. Look at the size of those things. I don't know if this is the right box. All right, so that kit, that was a double minnow live bait rig setup. So it's got like these wire leader things. I don't even know what you call those. It's just like a wire leader that sticks out. And then they have these 2 separate hooks. They're already tied off on some, feels like 8-pound mono. I'm thinking you just loop them through and one hook would sit like this. You got a live bait rig there, and then your second live bait rig would be right there. And then you have 2 swivels. You got your barrel swivel on top, barrel swivel, or your clip swivel on top, your barrel swivel on bottom. So be a live bait rig like that. I just feel like these looks like some big hooks for crappie. I don't know. Those looks like some pretty good size hooks there. But I do have live bait with me, so I might try that out later. But right now I do want to do the double jig setup the way I tie it on, with the marbu jig and with the regular jig tube that I have. So let's tie those up and start catching, see if we can catch a crappie. All right, so here we go. I'm using an 11-foot ACC crappie sticks rod. Something I tended to use it in the summertime when I'm throwing slip bobbers. A lot of you saw that, but I haven't used it a whole lot for vertically jigging. You see me use that 8-footer. It's probably by far my favorite, but this is that 11-footer. A lot of you seem to ask about the 10 and 11-foot just vertically jig rods, or brush pile kind of just vertically jigging for them, and you probably troll with these as well. But I got the 2 jigs tied on about 6 inches apart here. Both the loop knot. I will post the video, or I'll link the video for the double jig setup, how I tie these on. You can watch that. See, a lot of people have commented on Facebook and Instagram saying they've used this rig and it's really worked for them. It's really worked well for them, so I encourage you to give it a try. Let's see if we can get these Walmart lures to work for us today. Yeah, I'm wearing Carhartt bibs. It's a little cold. It's 39 degrees outside right now. Getting into mid-November. Hopefully these crappie bite. Oh, there's one. There we go. About time. That's a pretty good sized crappie right there. Got him on the hair jig. I was actually talking to a guy at the boat ramp and he said the only thing that worked for him were hair jigs. It's probably a 9.5 inch fish. It's better than what I have been catching. He was real close to the bottom. I'm maybe 2 feet off the bottom right now. Trying to just let this thing, I'm kind of drifting with the wind, so I'm barely tapping it off the bottom and raising it up. Let's see what he is. Yep, he's about a 9.5 inch fish. There we go. Crappie number 1. Well, the Walmart lure works so far. Let's see if we can catch one on that little black tube. I actually want to see if I can catch a handful of these to cook them up. But yeah, the guy at the boat ramp said that these hair jigs were working for him. These marbu jigs and these other hair jigs. Said he was using live minnows, he's throwing jigging wraps, and this is the only thing that worked for him, so I'm not surprised that that's what the crappie hit. I like these longer rods specifically for this because you can get out way away from the boat. I got an 11-foot rod. I can get way out away from the boat. And I don't have to be casting or moving very much at all. Just barely bouncing these jigs. There's a fish. Got him on the black tube. Well, I think the Walmart challenge is accomplished, but I actually want to use a bunch of different stuff in that box, so let's see if we can do it like a Walmart slam. I'm gonna put on a different jig tube. This guy's a dink, just a dink. I'm gonna put on a different colored jig tube here. I'm gonna leave the hair jig on for now. What else do we want to use? Let's see what else is in this crappie jig setup. We've got red and chartreuse. Let's go with this black curly tail. Let's try that out. And then I do have some live bait, and I want to try this double minnow setup. I don't think I've ever fished with that, and a lot of people I've seen who use this longer style rod, like an 10, 11 foot jig rod for that. So we're gonna try that after we catch a fish on this curly tail. Got the curly tail all set up, looking nice and juicy. Let's see if we can catch a fish on this. All right, we moved spots. I'm gonna try to catch a fish on that black curly tail before I tie the minnow rig on. It looked like there was a bunch of fish on these brush piles here, so hopefully they're crappie, not little bluegill. Whoop. Just had a hit, and I missed it. There he is, got him that time. Oh, it's on the marbu jig. All right, it's starting to rain pretty darn good today, but I tied this live minnow rig, double live minnow rig setup on. I think you probably could use some big tubes or something. The one thing that this kit did not have was a weight. So I actually dug through the tackle box and grabbed a 1/8 ounce bell sinker. If I can focus, there we go. So the one thing I noticed, these pre-rigged or these pre-tied rigs, there's a lot of memory in this monofilament. As you can see, it's like this bungees back up. I don't recommend it because the memory on this monofilament is absolutely terrible, and they didn't include the weight, which I was kind of disappointed, but You'd think if they'd sell a kit, complete kit, they'd include a weight. I mean, they got split shots in here, but I'm not going to use a split shot for this type of rig. They even have a hook sharpener, but they didn't include a weight. Look at that. They got a hook sharpener right there. No weight for the minnow rig. Oh well. Alright, let's throw some live bait on, see if we can catch a crappie and close this video out. Well, it's starting to rain pretty good here, so I'm going to put the big camera away, but got some live bait. These hooks are giant compared to the crappie minnows that I have. I mean, look at the size of these hooks. And look at the size of that minnow. These hooks are giant. But I'm still going to try it out, see if I can actually catch a pretty good sized crappie with these hooks. These minnows look so small. I got one hooked up on the bottom one already. I wouldn't advise using this rig just because the memory on the monofilament is just, it's terrible. But let's see if we can catch something. This would probably be a good trolling rig, but I'd recommend tying your own hooks to it. Got some brush piles right in front of me there. Let's see if we can get a crappie with this ugly looking setup. Ugly. Well, that's gonna wrap it up. One decent one, 9.5 inch fish. Not a slab, but still caught some crappie. There are some good lures in here. So we got that beetle spin, which I use quite a bit during post spawn mode into the summer fishing. They got some hair jigs. Hair jigs work today. I caught, I think, 2 or 3 on a different brush pile setup. I caught one here off camera. But the jig tubes, I'm not a fan of these hollow bodies. They slide off the hooks way too easy, but this kit was $10, so I don't know. I think you got about $10 worth of stuff in here. Probably throw that out. I still have no idea what this is. Comment below if you know what the heck this is. I think it's got to be like, it's got to be some sort of line tying thing. I don't know. It didn't come with instructions, so I've never seen it before. Came with a hook sharpener though. Got one of those. And of course, your stringer for all your slabs that you get. I think this was a successful challenge. No big fish, but did catch some crappie on the Walmart $10 kit. I think it was $9.88 if I remember right. But yeah, you probably, if you're gonna use that live minnow rig, that double live minnow rig, you probably want to tie on your own hooks. The monofilament that came with was just awful, so don't use that. But that's gonna wrap it up. I hope you enjoyed the video. $10 Walmart kit. If you're new to crappie fishing, there's stuff in it that'll work. It'll catch fish, kind of like that one. So check it out. I'll link it below. Also, if you're interested in rods, I'm gonna link the ACC crappie sticks, that 11-foot jig rod that I was using, in the description below. Appreciate you watching as always. Be sure to like and share the video. We'll see ya.